Hello, everyone. My name is Roger Rugi, and I am a mentor with Pathfinder Resilience. And I'm going to be covering sleep in this aspect of building cognitive capital. Now, if you saw our introduction, we're going to be going over a number of things that we could call sleep hacks, ways to improve our resilience. And again, I really strongly feel that sleep is number one, number two, and number three on our priority list simply because most of us are not in the sweet spot of 7.5 to 8 hours, which is where the vast majority of us need to be. And again, we explained all of the whys behind that in the first video. So go ahead and take a look at that to determine if you really need to be paying attention to your sleep. But I'm pretty sure you probably know, because most of us have a good feel for when we're rested and feeling really good. And we all know what that great night of sleep feels like. So let's get into a couple of really important ways that we can enhance this. And we're going to go over a bunch of stuff in this particular series, but I'm going to stick some really easy stuff in this very first aspect of building quality sleep. So here's how we're going to do it. One of the best things we can do is to program our mind for the expectation that we're going to go to sleep. When the mind is programmed, it has a little system inside it called the reticular activating system. That's a pattern recognition piece of software inside this amazing machine, and it recognizes certain behavioral patterns that we set throughout the day. And so when we determine that it's time to sleep, one of the best ways to help the brain wrap its mind around the fact that it's time to do that is having a consistent period where we go to sleep. Now, all of us are different in the way that our biorhythms work. Some of us are night owls, some of us are early morning people. That doesn't matter. Honor what's right for you. If you're that person who loves to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning because all your creative flow is happening and 2 a.m. is your bedtime, then as consistently as possible, make 2 a.m. your bedtime. Me, I'm a 9 p.m. kind of guy because I'm up 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning. That's when my creative flow is at its absolute best. But the key here is to be very consistent with our time to go to bed. A little sidebar for you. For those of you that have kids, this is huge for them because their brains will begin to wind down because the expectation is at 9 p.m., we go to bed. And so the brain is beginning to prepare for that. And you'll see about an hour and a half or so right before that sleep period, they begin to wind down. The energy starts to come off because they're programmed, and I mean that literally programmed in their neural pathways, that 9 p.m. is sleep time. So staying as consistent as possible with our sleep time period, that's really a huge benefit for getting the mind to say, I can disconnect from my day. It's time for me to rest. Now, here's another enhancement. Make your bedroom a place where you only sleep or have sex. That's it. Once again, the mind, when it's in that space in your living area, when it's in that bedroom, it knows the only thing we do here is sleep and make love. That's it. And what that means is we remove everything else that would distract us from those two primary things out of the room. Now, I'll have more on the electronics piece here in a minute in another video. But for now, designate a sleep space to be only that. And what this tends to do, when we set a priority time for sleep and when we set a space that is only dedicated to sleep, that helps us to then program the mind, create the neural connection that the expectation is we sleep in there. Why is that important? Well, we are so distracted today. All the electronic stuff we have, the constant stimulation that's coming at us, yeah, we get monkey mind from that. We can't shut this thing off. And so when we do these two so simple practices, guess what happens? The mind begins to shut down because it knows when it's in the bedroom and it's X p.m., it's time to go to sleep. And it doesn't matter if you're on shift work either. Maybe you work a graveyard shift and you're up all night long and your sleep period begins at 8 a.m. in the morning. Stay consistent. And I promise you that programming is going to be huge. Now, in the next video, I'm going to talk about the lighting in the room. This is a really important piece. It's part of setting the expectation, but it does something specific to the neurotransmitters in our brain that either wake us up or help us go to sleep. So stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you there in a minute.